Kia ora, my name is Sherry Grant, a Taiwan-born concert pianist, cellist, poet, and festival organizer from New Zealand. Today is the 4th of July 2025, and I'm currently in Wellington on a research trip. For episode 3 of the Finding Scriabin interview series, I have invited Veljko Glodic, president of the Croatian Society Alexander Scriabin. Born in 1958, Veljko Glodic graduated from the Academy of Music in Zagreb, Croatia. He then trained at the New England Conservatory of Music in Boston, USA, for his master's degree before receiving his PhD in 1988 from the Florida State University. Veljko has won many prestigious awards, served as member of jury at competitions, and performed extensively at international festivals with programs such as Concert Cycle Paths to Scriabin in Moscow. Veljko is also a highly recognized jazz pianist, and apart from CD recordings, his piano performances have been broadcast on radio and TV in many countries. As a piano professor at the Zagreb University Academy from 1993 until 2023, Veljko was engaged in intense pedagogical and professional work. He has written several books, including co-authoring the books Scriabin in the Cultural Spaces of the 20th Century, Moscow 2005, and Scriabin and Contemporaries, Moscow 2016. In 2019, Veljko founded the Croatian Society Alexander Scriabin with a group of Scriabin enthusiasts. Welcome, Veljko. Can you share your earliest memory of playing the piano and how did you discover Scriabin's music?
Okay, I started playing piano when I was 8. By the time I was 12, I knew the music is going to be my future profession. And the Scriabin I discovered thanks to my teacher, who was Russian born, and she was giving me lots of Russian music to play, including Rachmaninoff, Scriabin, Glazunov, Arensky. So basically, from my youth, I'm in contact with Scriabin and Russian music.
Yeah, I understand that in Croatia, the government treats music in schools very seriously. I'm from Taiwan myself, and I went through a similar process, learning music from a young age. And can you tell us a bit more about the system? How does it differ from the teaching in America, for example, where you received your postgraduate music degrees?
Yes, in Croatia, like in the rest of the Eastern Europe, there are music schools and they are government supported. And there is nationally accepted curriculum which kids have to follow. And they play instrument, but they also learn solfeggio from the early age, which is very useful for musicians. And then by the age of 14 or 15, they also get the courses like harmony, counterpoint, history of music, chamber music. So by the time they come to the age for the academy, they're really well educated. So they have a wide musical education. In the United States, like before the college, it's more or less private. So you can get excellent uh, piano teacher, you can have an excellent piano training, but also you can get average. So there is no nationally accepted curriculum which would control like what those teachers are doing. Like, nevertheless, in the United States, they have the first-rate pianists, they have the first-rate musicians, and the colleges are the first-rate. Like, they have students from all around the world. They have lots of money, so they can basically get the top faculty. So basically, it's very hard to compare it. Like, there are advantages. Like, the advantage of European system is like that. After they graduate, students can get jobs, secure government jobs at the music schools. Okay. In the United States, nothing is secure. I mean, you can be very successful as a piano teacher, but then, some people just simply don't make it. So it's very hard to compare. Like both of the systems, they have advantages and disadvantages. Like for exceptionally talented student, I think it's better that the musical education is tailored like for their talent. Okay, so which means that basically the teachers adjust to the talent of a student. But if you want to create like well-educated base, like that people get good education, some of them will become musicians, some will not, then perhaps European system is better. So it's very hard to compare.
Right. So in Croatia, did you have to study like basic maths and your language and
You have basically
apart from the
you
music
go,
school?
yeah,
And
you go like to music school and you go to normal school. Like it's not like that you just go to music school and do nothing else. So no, that's no way. No.
yeah,
But those music schools are state supported. So basically, from let's say 8 till 2, you are in a normal school, and then in the afternoon you go to music school. Basically, that's how it works. Yeah,
I remember when I was in Taiwan, it was like after our academic exams, it's time for your music exams, and then it just goes on and on.
exactly. It goes on and on. It never
Yeah.
ends. Yeah, and it's
Mhm.
very strenuous. So the kids basically who go to music schools, they have a lot more obligations than those kids who go just to the school, because you have to do normal school curriculum and then you have to do everything for a music school. So basically, it's a big sacrifice, but it's worth. I think it's worth.
That's great. I remember you mentioned that you're also a jazz musician. How did you get into that?
I just discovered I had a talent for improvisation like from early childhood. And like right from the beginning, I knew I was going to be musician, not just pianist, just not just sit and practice one piece for I don't know how long, and then go and play. I was interested in music theory, in improvisation, in composition. I studied piano and it was my major, but it was not just like nowadays many students, oh, just piano competition, nothing else. And they take the same pieces and practice it like for years, the same repertoire just to get it perfect, to be able to compete. That's definitely not my story. So I mean, when I take something, I do it well. But I don't feel fulfilled as a musician just playing Chopin ballad or just playing, I don't know, piece by Scriabin. Okay, I played, but then I improvise, I compose something, I write. I work with students. I feel that this is a life. This is the life I want.
Yeah, is that your advice for young pianists and
Oh,
musicians in general that don't get stuck on just the competitions and certain pieces, move beyond us? Yeah.
look, it's very hard to give to advice to someone. Like I can say it works for me, but everybody has to discover what works for particular person. I don't know. I think it's better you have more fulfilled life if you do more things, if you're a musician. But then if you want to do like a big career, then you have to focus. Like then you really have to focus. Then it's like, but I don't think I would like that with my life. Like if somebody gave me now, I don't know, 60 concerts in a year, and then you are all the time on a trip in airplane, changing the time zones, all the time microphones, all the time under stress. I don't know how, that's the life which I would like for myself.
Yeah, I
And
have
then
friends
you get
like that,
sick.
and
Yeah,
it's
and
very
if you get
stressful.
sick, if you get injured, what you have then. So it's something I really admire those people who can do it, and I respect it and everything. But I think it's just too much. I like playing a concert, first of all, choosing repertoire which is attractive, which is challenging for me, which I can say something as an individual, and I can play it on my way, not to play on the way like people want to hear it, or jury wants to hear it or whatever, They play music on my way, and then I would do a concert, 2 or 3, but then take a rest, I practice all the time, but then I'd improvise, write something, I work with my students. And then when I have a need, when I feel urged, then I prepare a next concert, And that's, I feel that's the living I want, So
Do you,
this works for me. I don't know if, it's hard to give advice, as I say,
yeah.
but
Do you play much contemporary music?
look, it's hard to say, like what's contemporary music, Like contemporary music, it's something which is
Other
written
people, not improvisation.
right now, which is
Yeah,
written right now. And I
yeah.
don't play music which is written right now because
Huh.
I have my jazz, because in jazz is the music which is written right now,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
I write.
Mhm.
So in a way, I do play contemporary music, but my music,
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I haven't done, actually, I've done some, I've done some, I think 10 years ago, I recorded some piano pieces of American composer who is a professor in Baltimore. I've done some contemporary music, but not. It is not that I would do like just that.
Mhm.
Why? I can do my music.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why.
So apart from practicing, what do you like read a lot and
Look, I read.
reason?
I'm in the fitness. I run. I go to gym. I'm in good shape.
It's
And
great.
of course I read and stuff which normal musicians do,
Yeah,
but I feel like if you want to feel good, your body has to be healthy and in good shape, so
yeah.
basically I spend practice, let's say 5 days a week, 2 hours a day for fitness.
Wow. Yeah. I think as musicians, that is really, it really shows, especially if you are like touring or something. I've actually just started going to the gym this year as well, and I can feel the difference. Like if you're training,
Huge difference.
uh,
Yeah. And then just you have to go on and go on, don't stop, because people usually start 1, 2, 3 months, oh, well, it starts and I don't see immediately results, like you get results if you stay, if you stick with
hmm
it. And if you just, it's like a lifestyle, it's not like you go to gym, it's like lifestyle. And then it works for you. In 20 years, then you'll see the change,
Yeah.
like, it's not like in a year, maybe not that much change. You'll see in a year.
hmm
In 2 years, 3, 5 years already, you'll see the change. And then in 20 years, when you get older, when those people the same age as you, start to
Yeah.
have like a serious problems, probably you will be better off. It depends also on genes and everything, but you'll be certainly better off. So
Yeah.
particularly for musicians, because you have to have a body, it has to work, you have
Mm.
to have a posture, you have to have a strength, you have to have endurance.
Yeah.
So basically, that's a good decision you have.
Yeah. So Veljko, you told me that you've read a little bit about theosophy. That's kind of not something that everybody knows about.
Yeah, well, when I was actually quite young, maybe 17, 18, I was searching for some spiritual essence of everything. And I came across some text of Anita Zand, of Helena Blavatsky, of Olcott. And those are basically, and also Rudolf Steiner, which is anthroposophy, but he came out of that philosophical moment. And it was very attractive to me. Their ideas were very attractive. So that's another connection. What brought me to Scriabin.
Yeah, is there much of that text, of theosophy or Scriabin texts, books translated into Croatian? Because like for the younger.
Not, but I read it on English. I read it on English.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah. read in English, and there are quite of those books. There are like even nowadays, like there is a site of Theosophic Society, and
Hmm.
they have all of books for free. All of those books you can read it
Yeah,
from internet for free.
yeah,
Like before it was 50 years ago, particularly in the former Yugoslavia, it was not that easy to get those books. But now it's like readily available for free.
yeah, yeah. It's
And
great.
those are, those ideas who like every person comes to the point, you ask those questions, And what's very attractive to me that theosophy tried to connect spiritual tradition of West and of East. Okay,
Hmm.
so basically, this is something which maybe like in Western philosophy, Schopenhauer first tried first kind of reflected on Eastern philosophy, like Buddhism, Hinduism. It's in Schopenhauer philosophy there are quite a lots of references for that. And that theosophy is in a way on that line. Just it's trying to be also a practical doctrine, okay, not just intellectual, but also practical doctrine, which can change uh, human's personality to the point where that spiritual spark, which is in
Hmm.
each of us, becomes dominant. Okay, like people are turned, lots of people there turn toward the material world. They have ambitions and everything, but then those things they just come and go. And theosophy is searching for something which is permanent, which is
Hmm.
beyond the time, beyond
Yeah,
the
they want to
space,
uncover the
and
truth, right?
the truth. Yeah, the
Yeah.
true essence of human being. So basically that's what attracted me to theosophy.
That's why I like Scriabin so much because he's not just about the
Exactly, yeah.
music, but also the idea, something higher that we want
He's
to
also
achieve.
a philosopher and a mystic, and I feel that he really felt that. It was not just some superficial intellectual uh, connection with that. I felt Scriabin really felt the essence of that. And you can hear it in his music, and you can see it in his music.
Yeah. And I was just thinking, I actually know quite a lot of haiku poets in Croatia as well. I feel like that it's
Mhm.
really flourishing in the Eastern Europe, haiku as a form. And I remember one of
Yeah,
the Scriabin biographers, Fabian Bowers, he actually also
but
wrote a book about haiku. So it's really, really amazing connection. Yes. And a lot of
yeah,
Scriabin's shorter pieces, it just felt like haiku. It's so short, but it just has so much in it.
yeah.
Yeah. I also read philosophy when I was very young, maybe in high school. Yeah. And poetry. And then I did not imagine I was going to become a poet. I didn't
And
start
I'm
until
curious,
2020. Yeah,
I'm
writing.
curious, like I'm fascinated by Buddhism.
Hmm.
Like especially lately. Like in Taiwan, do you have like Buddhist tradition
Yeah.
or
We have
you have
temples. Yes, we have temples,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
I think also Taoism. It's quite a mix, and also of
Taoism,
course
great
there are
too.
like people who are Christians and things like that. All sorts. There's yeah, it's democratic, so there's no restriction as to what
No, right,
what
right.
you want to believe in. But the Buddhist is quite big in Taiwan, and I remember when I was young, we were following the traditions, and we had to like every month we have to. Put out some some food and then kind of pray and incense, that sort of thing. I think there's even like a little small area on the top floor, and we just go up there and pray sometimes with the incense. So yeah, But we don't, we're not following that anymore now that we're in New Zealand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, Taoism also, it's very fascinating to me, like it's like in a way, lately I've been more interested in Buddhism and Taoism than in the Western philosophy,
Uh-huh.
because it's completely different, as you get older, you kind of get different perspective on the life.
Hmm.
And like life becomes, I don't know, when you're young, you live very intensely, like all of those impressions, wow, sun, wow, sea, wow, spring. But then as you get older, it becomes more like shades, it's like it comes and goes. And in a way, Taoism is in the same line, like he says, like if you can name Tao, then this is not Tao, if you can see Tao, this is not Tao, they say,
Hmm.
like, if you meet Buddha in your life, kill him, because this is not Buddha. So it's like that fluidity of life. Your parents die, then your friends start to get sick, whatever, and basically everything goes into nothing. Like when you're young, you think you live forever, and everything is worth, like fighting for, for career, for wife, for family, for whatever, but then later on, it kind of just everything disappears. It's
Hmm.
like, and you feel there is missing something, and I don't know. So that's basically when you get older, you become Buddhist. So
Right. And I also think what we are doing is actually creating something more permanent. It will get
yeah,
passed on, some kind of legacy, right? Yeah, instead
yeah,
of just focusing on ourselves, we're focusing on what the world can become, despite the
exactly.
wars, despite COVID. Yeah,
Yeah,
we have to move on,
yeah,
right? Mm. So the Croatian Society Alexander Scriabin was founded 6 years ago in
yeah.
2015, and with you as the vice president, and now you have become the president. Could you tell us more
I,
about the society?
well, actually, I have not desired that. I felt much better as vice president. Because there's much less responsibility. You don't have to deal with the people, whatever.
Yeah.
But then, just now that our president Ruben Dale-Baltajan,
Hmm.
he's very engaged as a teacher. He teaches in Zagreb, in Ljubljana, has lots of obligations.
Hmm.
So he couldn't go,
Right.
like within a few years. So
Yeah.
you hear me? Hear
Mm.
me? Yeah.
And how are you promoting Scriabin in your country? Because Croatia is not a very big country, just like Taiwan is also very small, but you're way bigger than us.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, we founded our society because 150 anniversary of Scriabin birth was nearing,
Hmm.
and we were planning some activities, and we thought it's better to do it if we have society, if we have a group of people who are going to support us. And there was a lot of enthusiasm at the beginning. And we did some very good things, as a society. We had like concerts, lectures. We published a book, which was translation of a book by Igor Belza about Scriabin. This is Russian musicologist, very good book. For this year, we are planning that conference, which we'll do like in association with you as an artistic director, and then with association with the American Scriabin Society, British Scriabin Society, and the rest of the Scriabin enthusiasts. And then also we're planning a concert of students and pupils like Scriabin and his contemporaries. So this is to get kids chance to play, to listen to each other, because the Scriabin Society should not be just about Scriabin
Hmm.
specialists. We have to reach out and get the kids, if they can play Scriabin, but they can play some Scriabin contemporary. There are
Hmm.
easy pieces
Mhm.
Prokofiev. There are some easy pieces of Rachmaninoff, and then we can get them together. They play for each other, and then we create a base for the future.
Yeah,
It's not just five people who are trying to promote themselves, basically. That should not, the society should not exist because of that.
yeah.
And then if we can reach to the kids, to the young people, then I'm afraid it won't work out. So basically, that's our politics.
Right. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's really great that we're thinking of the future, not just our generation.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm very grateful that the Croatian Society will co-host part of the upcoming International Scriabin 2025 festival, and that is in memory of 110 years since the composer's death. Yeah, what are your hopes that we can achieve together?
Well, it depends of what interest we can attract. It's
Mhm.
like two of us together, we can't do much. But then if you get like people from all around the world who are willing to share their experience with us, if we get some younger people, then we can do something.
Mhm.
But we can just invest our enthusiasm and our love for Scriabin and hope for the best. And then what we can do, we'll see in a few months. So it's like
Yeah,
it's not
we'll
our
find
life.
out. It's still in the planning stage, and I'm really
Yeah,
looking forward to this. Yeah.
yeah.
The last
So
time
we can
we
hope
were
for the
not
best.
able to get hold of this Croatian society, and I was a little bit sad because I was asking the presidents to send in greeting messages, but I was mainly collaborating with the Scriabin Society of America, and that was actually also the same year that they came back from hiatus of over 10 years. So I'm very happy.
Yeah,
It's all happening. Yeah. So I want to build a global piano family in the name of Scriabin. Everybody's allowed to play everything else, but also Scriabin. Yeah, he should be
yeah.
remembered. Well, thank you for your time. I look forward to our collaboration at the festival and this November online, and I hope to meet you in person soon.
Sure. I hope so. Yeah.